I had been feeling unusually tired for weeks, but it crept up on me so gradually that I almost didn't notice. It started subtly, nodding off at work, struggling to stay awake through movies I normally loved. At first, I chalked it up to stress, the kind that comes with the pressure of life and work. But then I started noticing something more unsettling. It was always worse after drinking the evening tea my wife, Emily, made for me every night without fail. It seemed ridiculous to suspect anything at all. Tea. How could something so innocent be the cause of my exhaustion? But once that tiny seed of doubt was planted, it grew quickly, taking root in my mind. Emily had always been caring, even attentive, but over the last few months, something in her had shifted. She seemed colder, more distant. Her tone was sharper, and her patience was thinner than I remembered. The affection she once showed me now felt forced, like she was playing a role she didn't believe in anymore. That, combined with the constant exhaustion, began to make me suspicious. I couldn't ignore the feeling that something wasn't right. One night, I decided to act on it. I pretended to fall asleep early, hoping to catch a glimpse of what she was really doing. From a cracked eyelid, I saw her move into the kitchen. She carefully stirred something into my cup of tea before bringing it over to my nightstand. There was no reason to sweeten tea that was already flavored. No reason for her to stir it for as long as she did. And the way she kept glancing over her shoulder, it felt deliberate. That was the moment I knew. The next day at work, I told my coworker Mark, who used to be an EMT. He seemed genuinely concerned and warned me to be careful. Sleeping pills, especially in high doses and mixed with other things, can be dangerous, he said. He suggested that I avoid the tea for one night and see what happened. His words confirmed my suspicions, and I knew I had to act. That evening, I played it cool. I smiled, kissed Emily on the cheek, and thanked her for the tea, but I didn't drink it. Instead, I waited until she wasn't looking and deliberately knocked the cup off the table, acting as if it was an accident. The sound of the cup shattering on the floor broke the quiet, and she jumped to her feet. But then she froze midway, her expression far too intense for what should have been a minor mishap. "You didn't even take a sip," she said, her voice low. I tried to laugh it off. It was too hot. I was reaching for my phone and knocked it over. "I'll clean it up." But she didn't move. She just stood there, watching me kneel down with a towel, her eyes calculating, like she was weighing her next move. The air between us grew thick, and the silence stretched long. Something had cracked, and I knew she could feel it. I could see it in her eyes. That night, I pretended to fall asleep early again. Around 11 p.m., I heard her on the phone. She was whispering, but I could make out a few phrases. "It's not working," and "he's getting suspicious." My stomach dropped. This wasn't just paranoia. Something was really wrong. I silently recorded the call from my phone tucked under my pillow, making sure to back it up. Then I packed a bag and left while she was still on the phone in the other room. I stayed at a friend's place that night, my mind racing. The next morning, I went to a private clinic and had a full toxicology test done. The results were exactly what I feared. Trace amounts of Zolpidem, a strong sedative, were in my system. I had never been prescribed anything like that. My heart pounded as I realized just how deep the betrayal ran. I took the evidence to a lawyer, my recordings, the test results, even screenshots of my messages with coworkers about the symptoms I had been experiencing. With enough evidence, we contacted the police, who launched an investigation and served a warrant to search our house. What they found confirmed my worst fears: an unmarked bottle of prescription-grade sleeping pills hidden in the kitchen cabinet behind a box of vitamins. The prescription was under the name of a man I had never heard of. When they confronted Emily, she tried to deny everything, but the evidence was overwhelming. Eventually, she broke down and admitted the truth. She had been trying to sedate me so she could sneak out and spend time with someone else. Someone I didn't even know. The betrayal stung, but strangely, I felt more relief than pain. I hadn't lost my mind. I wasn't paranoid. I had trusted my instincts, and they had been right. I had protected myself before anything worse could happen. Emily was charged with reckless endangerment and prescription fraud. I filed for divorce the same week. As the process moved forward, I often thought back to that moment, the one where she watched me drop the tea. It was a moment everything changed for both of us. She realized I was waking up, and I realized how dangerous she had become. Now, as I stand on the other side of it, I realize just how much I've learned. Trusting my instincts saved me from a fate I could never have imagined. I learned that sometimes the most subtle shifts in behavior speak louder than words. And sometimes the greatest betrayal isn't just about someone else. It's about what they've been doing to you without you even realizing it.